scientific method, we are up to analysing the data. So once we've collected it all, what do we do with it? How do we make sense of it? So this is largely talking about descriptive statistics, the quantitative data that we need to make sense of and analyse in order to answer our question. So this usually involves calculating the average, often the mean, but not always, looking at the range of results and putting it into graphs to make it all look pretty. So calculating the mean, I'm assuming most of you know how to do that, where you add up all the scores together and divide it by the number of scores. This is not always the appropriate choice for measuring the central tendency, but it's usually the most obvious one. Then we need to look at making graphs. This is making our data really easy to read and easy to quickly see how we answer our question. So if we're making a bar graph, that means our x-axis is not continuous when we're looking at all the people who've got a certain colour eyes, for example. If both our sets of data that we are relating are continuous, then that's when we're going to be using a scatter plot to look for that correlation. So when our x-axis and our y-axis are both going to be numbers, and this is the case also if we want to make a traditional line graph as well. Graphs and averages don't tell the whole picture though. We also need to look at variability. How spread out were the scores? Were they all pretty much the same? Or were there some that were really, really high and really, really low? This adds another dimension to the analysis of our results. So we're looking at the spread or the range of scores. This shows how reliable that difference is between the two means. So there's a couple of different calculations we can do here. The first is the range, which is a really simple one, just having the highest score and taking away the lowest score. And then there's the standard deviation. You don't need to know how to calculate it, but you do need to know what it means. If scores are all the same, the standard deviation is 0. So the more spread out the scores are from the mean, the higher the standard deviation.